Welcome back to a normal Sunday walk video. It's been a while, but it's looking good outside and with market. So let's talk about what's going on, because once again things are starting to heat up in a major way for everything. Last night, after I declared altcoin season, Bitcoin starts shooting up. So everyone is seeing the greens right now, right? And that's fantastic all around. So first things first, Bitcoin yesterday was stuck at 116.6, even though the alts were going up. Boom, decided to join in, and now as I'm recording this, right around 119,000. So we haven't seen 119,000 in a long time. And to remind you guys, I believe our previous high was 123, and that was brief, really brief. We just shot up and down. So if we can break through 120 by tonight or even tomorrow, you know, we will see that new all-time high soon, right? Bitcoin's been holding for not too long, like a week, but overall sideways movement, and it's looking like it wants to go up. Quite simply, that simple. Now, man, I hate these mosquitoes. That's the problem with these Sunday walks, and I should probably do them earlier so there's not as many bugs out. But outside of that, altcoin season, of course, is here. Even though Bitcoin shot up, the alts held, and they really didn't move down at all. It's not like the liquidity got sucked out to go into Bitcoin. Everything is still looking good. So you have ETH, that's like 4,300. I think it's like 40, close to 4,300. Then you got Sol, that's coming up about 190. And then you got the others like XRP, AVAX, SUI, Link making a huge moves to $22. Everything is doing well right now, okay? Altcoin season is here. Memes are also coming back. So the big cap memes, the mid cap memes, even some small memes. Like I kept some memes from back in the day, and I'm starting to see them come up. Nowhere close to previous highs, but they are starting to move. So you could feel it, that the excitement is upon us. And this week could be absolute, man, I got some huge mosquitoes waiting to bite me. I should actually turn around. I don't want to finish a Sunday walk full of mosquito bites. But yeah. So what's going to happen this week? Are we going to see a continuation? I think so. The momentum is here all around, not just for alts, for Bitcoin and alts, and we have several big macro stuff happening this week that could definitely drive us higher. Okay, inflation readings and economic data, that is what we're waiting to see this week. Tuesday we will have a CPI print. Thursday we'll have a PPI print. And then we have some other economic data that's coming out on Friday, basically measuring how the US is doing. So, man, I'm getting bit left and right. I gotta start doing these Sunday walks outside the forest. So, yeah, I'm getting distracted here. I lost my train of thought. My train of thought is this. Obviously, at this point, we know we're going to get a rate cut in September, okay? It's priced in now, 90+%, so we're going to get it. Now, I've been talking about this 50 basis point cut, or the possibility of a 50 basis point cut. So that could be really determined by this coming week. If the CPI and PPI prints come in lower than expected, we see a downtick, oh man, then we will not only get a huge rally, but we will get that 50 basis point cut, I believe, right? The reason why we went up to 90-70% for September. It's obviously because July we didn't get a cut, but also because we got bad jobs numbers. So if we compound that with, let's say, lower inflation or inflation going downwards, then the Fed has to cut. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around. Too many mosquitoes out here. I don't know, the person that passed me, she's gonna get bitten like crazy. So this week, if we see both CPI and PPI, inflation is set to go higher. If it just ticks down slightly, if there's any indication that somehow inflation goes down, that'd be good. However, because some of the tariffs kicked in, maybe the numbers go higher. It's really unknown at this point. Okay, so is there a possibility that the rally gets stalled because inflation continues to go upwards? There's a possibility of that. Okay, we can't discount that because the tariffs are now in place. So the price of goods may have gone up a little bit. So if PPI and CPI both tick upwards, that could make the market stall. But you know, with Bitcoin and crypto, sometimes it doesn't really matter. We have seen times where both decouples away from NASDAQ and S&P 500, so it might not matter. And we have seen periods where when we got inflation data that showed inflation was going upwards, actually it drove more people to Bitcoin. So, really don't know. However, it'll be optimal if everything went up, right? If the US market went up because of enthusiasm of a 50 basis point cut and lower inflation, it's definitely not going to hurt drive more money into Bitcoin and crypto, especially since we got such good news. Last week, things were driven up because of that executive order to allow 401ks to invest in crypto. You know, that's pretty big. And then like others, I missed this, but I saw this recently. Harvard just bought $120 million worth of Bitcoin ETF. Speaking of ETF, the Friday ETF turned positive. So even though we had a lot of outflows, things started turning positive. So that's good. So things are just hitting all cylinders. All cylinders are firing right now. So fantastic. Yeah, outside of that, I really don't have anything else to say. You know, yesterday my video put out late about altcoin season. I mentioned about what to look at. Obviously, ETH is leading the way right now, which is good. Sol starting to wake up. I looked up the TVL. TVL is near 2021 highs. DeFi activity is sky high. Memes are starting to come back to life, so I think Sol's going to recover in a big way. XRP hasn't really started moving yet, but I think people will realize now that the SEC lawsuit is over, there's really nothing holding them back. So I think they are waiting, or XRP is waiting, not waiting, but it's consolidating before a huge move. And same thing with the others. Sui is kind of an all-rounder. They're waiting to come back up, even though they have done very, very well last year and this year. Someone like Chainlink has done really well recently because of everything that they're involved with. Man, I'm really getting bitten. All the comments are going to be me getting bitten up by the mosquitoes. But a lot of the ETH-based projects I mentioned are doing well. Memes are starting to come back. I would specifically look at the ETH and Sol memes. Base memes, maybe, but I think Sol memes are going to come back in a big way. Same thing with ETH memes. Even something like Pepe is starting to wake up. Right? Now, AI, some of the other categories like AI, DPIN, gaming specifically are still very lagging, right? I think once the market heats up a little bit more, then you'll see momentum everywhere. That's when we're in like true altcoin season, right? Right now it's kind of like the beginning of altcoin season. So you're really not seeing everything come up. So you got to be specific. But once things come back, you know, the other niches will come back as well. So there you go. Those of you guys that stayed in the game, Huddle and DCA, congratulations. It's about to get fun. August traditionally isn't a good month for markets, but this is no ordinary cycle. Things are very different. Things are changing in a big way. The landscape for crypto is changing in a big way for the better. And plus, now we have institutions. Those institutions do not care about historical performance. If they want to get in, they will just get in. They're making a big difference in terms of how we're moving now, and they will continue to carry us with their billions upon billions and billions of advice. All right, that's it. Last point I want to make is I got a little inspiration from some of these other influencers, non-crypto influencers, in terms of what they're doing with their live streams and how they're interacting with their fan base, ones that my kids are watching. So I'm gonna try to implement some of that. Man, I'm really getting killed. You know, I already came out with the Ask George segment, although some people are very hesitant about it because they don't want to show their face. I'll continue to do those as I get more questions, but I want to do more with my Discord. I told you guys about Discord. I told you guys about Bootcamp and the free Discord that I have, right? Bootcamp went very well last month. We will hold it this month again for those that want to learn trading. But inside Discord is all around chat and collaboration and learning and even humor, fun, you know, fun stuff, memes or whatever, right? So I want to do more. I'm going to open up a few more channels in my Discord, which is absolutely free, which you can join by clicking on the link in the description. So I'll have things like rate my portfolio or rate my PC or I don't know, rate my car, right? I'll put in a lot more channels in there just for the hell of it, just to pass the time or just to have people chat or whatever. And I may bring it up during my Q&A in my live streams, right? During Q&A, sometimes it gets stale. What I'm probably going to do, starting from this week, I'm going to pull up Discord and see some of those things posted inside the channels and showcase them and talk about them. So I'm taking inspiration from some of the other bigger influencers, and I think it'd be cool, it'd be collaborative. A lot of people will like it. So make sure you join the Discord. Not only talk with others about Bitcoin and crypto and current news, macro stuff, get also trading advice, and if you want to just, you know, shoot the shit or show off what you have or ask questions, okay? You can. So make sure you join it. That's about it. All right. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a ton of itching tonight. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.